Well, gardening is an important skill to learn and to know about, and here to talk about that, if you want to learn more in Auglaize County, is Jacob Winters. He's the extension educator in Auglaize Agriculture and Natural Resources for Auglaize County, and Sarah Goins from SNAP. So welcome. All right, so this is a fun and educational program that you both are doing, right? You guys are combined together.
Yes, Jacob and I work together in Auglaize County. I am the SNAP Ed program assistant, and he's our A&R educator in Auglaize County. And SNAP Ed is our supplemental nutrition assistance program education. And our job is funded by the USDA and implemented through Ohio State University. So we work with local agencies and partners to teach nutrition education to those of limited resources. And part of my job is a policy system and environmental change, or PSC as we call it. So I approached Jacob last year about starting an educational garden for one of our program sites, and it's been rolling since then. And we've got it started, and we've done some planting.
Yeah, so this is in downtown Wapak, right? It's pretty much right behind the courthouse, is that what?
Correct, you can see it right out the courthouse window. So we're right between the courthouse, the administration building, and the Catholic Church. So we're there at the intersection of Pearl and Perry Street.
Okay.
So this has been a lot that's been owned by the county commissioners for several years, and now it has been opened up and turned into green space temporarily. So we approached and proposed this project to make sure that that green space had a useful meaning to the community. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be partnering and teaching the life skills of gardening on these lots, both with programs that Sarah has worked with, and bring those kids and other individuals in and teach them how to feed themselves from the garden, but also for the public, as we're going to be doing with the composting program here on May 12th.
Yeah.
So those public events will be open for everybody to come in and view the garden. It's total about 1/3 of an acre that's tilled for between the 6 different plots that are in the garden. We're producing 6 different produce items, some low, some higher maintenance crops, and each one of the individual rows is actually going to be tagged for anybody who would just want to preview it with actually an individual seed tag that shows what's growing in that row, the ideal conditions of it, and then a QR code that they can scan and get an individual fact sheet on how to grow that themselves. So that way the garden is fully interactive for anybody who wants to just self-educate themselves about what's going on there on their regular walks through Wapak.
That's amazing. You know, gardening is a skill that you don't want to lose. You know, you don't want to lose that skill because, you know, you can grow your own fresh fruits and vegetables. And talk about nutrition, like
absolutely.
That's probably the healthiest option that you could go for.
And that's where my role comes in. Once we get to harvest, I'm going to be using Ohio State's nutrition resource, Celebrate Your Plate, which has easy to prepare, nutritious, cost-effective recipes that we're going to implement into programming using the produce that we grew.
Wow. Now, if people are interested in this, can they sign up for these classes? How do they sign up for these classes? And
if you are a group that's interested about participating or being a part of one of these programs, the best way is to reach out to me at the Extension office. And what we'll do is we'll either give you a public listing for a time that we're going to be hosting one of these events, or work with you to try and become an organization that we might be teaching some skills to.
Okay, so as these plants grow and you see the progress, it's really amazing to grow something out of nothing. You know, you got the soil that's been tilled, and you add the water and the compost. The compost thing, I know nothing about. You know, I try to educate myself, but you know, you guys are doing your first home composting workshop. That'll be on May the 12th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. and that'll be at the educational garden right there. So what kind of stuff are they going to learn?
For that one, we're actually going to be meeting at the library next door, going through and teaching them very basic skills about how is composting, what is it, what are the different types, like vernal composting, which is utilizing worms to break down the full produce, or traditional composting using bacteria and heat to break it down, and then also going through what needs to be put into that mix to get the best type of product for the result that you're creating, and basically everything they know to turn waste into precious material for the garden.
Yeah, so each plant has a different type of nutrient it likes, right? Like I'm guessing like some things might like more potassium perhaps, or, you know, I'm guessing.
They all have some different needs, which is why we've got on all of our different cards for the garden about what type of soil acidity level it likes, different type of climate conditions that they like to grow in, and all those kind of sweet spots for growing those individual produce as we're going through the garden. So that way we can help refine, but also just generally teach the basics so that everybody can have fun of learning that 101 garden experience on their own.
All right, well, thanks for coming in and telling us all about this gardening, you know, experience. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun and definitely educational. Thanks for once again.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, well, don't go away because medical news is coming up next.